Hi there. Thank you for watching News Echoes. I will bring you news and analysis on Nigeria today. Over the night, the INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission of Nigeria, announced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. Some people have been jubilating all over internet. Some people in Lagos also jubilated, and they captioned it, Lagos as woken up. We want to have a feel of what is going on around Nigeria. We want to see whether this is the end. Talking about the end, a group has said is end rigging, end Nigeria. Dare I say, this is the end time. But then it depends on the people of Nigeria. In the studio with me are my wonderful colleagues in Abuja. We have Dr. Osita Anyemeka. Dr. Anyemeka, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. I'm glad to be here.
We have in Lagos, Bidi Nana. Bidi, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, everyone in the studio, our viewers all over the world. Good to have you here today.
And in Milan, we have Mark Godwin. Mark, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning, Dr. Shagun. Good morning, everybody. It's a wonderful new month, the month of March, month of victory for all of us.
Yeah,
thank you.
I hope everybody will be this excited. But let's start from Nigeria. Dr. Sita, you are in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. A few hours ago, INEC declared Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect. What is the mood in Abuja?
Starting from me, I slept off. This morning, my colleagues woke me up and said, hear that they've announced the president. I said, when? They said, last night. I said, how? Have they finished counting? They said, yes, the man declared Bola Tinubu as winner. So I hung up my phone because I thought they were joking. So they called me back. We do this all the time. They called me back and they said, hey, you have a new president. He'll be sworn in, May 29. I say, guys, just stop joking. So as I was saying that, some other person called from my family to say, bros, where you did now? Say they don't announce this man president. So I knew it was true. The mood after I woke up in the last 4 hours or so, yeah, it's still the waiting mood.
Okay.
When you are waiting, yes, the waiting mode. We are still waiting for INEC to complete their job.
Okay. They said 3 p.m.
Yeah, whatever
today.
was announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever was announced overnight is their business. But if what I heard that Bola Tinubu has been a crown president, I don't think I'm surprised because it was in the script. I don't think I'm surprised. There was no way these people who have prepared so much in the last 8 years, people who have spent, Tinubu himself has spent almost all his life in the last 3 decades hoping to become this. So you just take it away from his hands and give it away to somebody else will not be easy. So what we are looking at now is just the beginning of the last lap.
Okay,
the last lap being that there would have been processes towards getting it done right.
Thank you, Dr. Sita. We want to hear from Lagos. Bidi, you had the news, and as usual, INEC came middle of the night to announce Bola Ahmed as the president-elect. And I watched the clip where he was announced with some APC leaders surrounding him and all of them shouting. Somebody wanted to lift him up, but he thought otherwise. You don't lift such a person up because he may not be in the right frame. Tell us about what's going on in Lagos. What's the mood in Lagos?
I woke up this When you walk this morning to that news, and in context, when a new president is elected, after the process, after the election, after the campaign, at least half of the people they will agree and rejoice. Even for those who did not vote for him or who he is not their choice, they will not have any other choice than to accept him as their president. But in the situation of Nigeria, the president has been announced and Nigerians are many. Now, in this announcement, I will tell you it's just about 20% of Nigerians that are that the ruling party has become the power. Now, you say independent national electoral commission has the winner of the election. I think that name independent should remember that. But yeah, that's first. Something let's watch to announce this election. Now, if you go to our constitution, it said anyone who will win the president of this country at least will win at least 25% of the capital city, Abuja, which the root did not get. The dictator did not get his president. He did not get his state of birth and state of origin. And one could do because even court to rush and announcing and when people are jubilating. And everyone have seen the process. This is not an election. This is just imposement. They have succeeded in imposing on us their choice. So we are watching, like Dr. said.
Okay, we are still watching. Let's go to Canada.
Can I say something? Dr. Johnson, from what you said yourself, from what you said, APC was there when he announced the president. Does that make sense? APC as a political party was there when the independent electoral body announced the new president. APC, and somebody from the APC was about to lift him up. It does not make sense. It does not make sense. We should be independent enough to stay away from all the political parties, but he didn't do that all through this election.
Okay.
I just said, I would draw that up from what you said yourself.
Yes, because I watched the clip. Let's welcome our brother George, Toronto in Canada. George, you're welcome to the program.
Good morning. Hi, good morning, Dr. Johnson. Good morning, my fellow brothers and sister. And
you are the first Canadian. Sorry, well, you are Canadian. You are the first diasporan to say something. How do you see the announcement, which appears to many has been horribly done middle of the night? How do you receive it in Canada?
Well, it is a sad day for the country called Nigeria. And it's sad because the so-called citizens of Nigeria have been disenfranchised from their constitutional right to express who they wanted to be their own president. We know that Mahmoud was compromised. It's been mentioned on this platform before. And what they did was basically to hijack the system, make sure that the status quo continues. The way they did it 8 years ago, the way they did it 4 years ago, and now the same system, is instituting or putting together the same way they do it. And that's why they made sure that in the middle of the night of the 25th of February, that they turned off the portals, therefore, in order to be able to manipulate the election. That's what they do. That's the case in Nigeria. I've been there. I saw it physically before. And that's why I was saying it, that the only way this election would have been fair, credible, like Mahmoud Yakubu promised the whole entire Nigerians, but this man is less than a man. We can see that already because He's not a credible individual whatsoever. So the system has already been hijacked, and that is the reason why he insisted on finishing the election in spite of his promises to the citizens, who are not even considered citizens anymore. And this is exactly what we are facing right now, because a band of people, a small group of people hijacked the whole system, wrote everything down. We see it live. We've seen it live. We've seen all the system manipulations. And now they are making this man, to be, I don't mind if you won the election free and fair. I might not like him as an individual because I don't think he is capable of leading Nigeria to where we are supposed to be. But right now, here we are. But it's not over yet.
Yeah.
It's not over yet.
Let's quickly hear from Europe. Mark in Milan. You represent Europe for us. How do you copy?
Thank you very much, Dr. Shagun. It's Tinubu's turn, like he says.
Emila Khan.
Former Lagos State Governor of Lagos State Governor has been declared Nigerian president-elect. Yes, it's an interesting one. We've all been going through it together. The interesting thing now is, imagine winning, and it's just a small group of unit of people that are celebrating. The whole 150 million other people are moody, sad, because this doesn't represent their vote. Yes. As at this morning, we've not slept here in the studio. As at this morning, we were still getting a lot of reports. Do you guys know that all the Peter Labour Party votes were reduced? Labour Party had 2 million in Imo. Labour Party had 1.3 million in Delta. But they had to shred it in such a way.
They had to scale it down.
Yeah, they had to scale it down in such a way that the other one comes up more than, and they had to do it in a way that it doesn't also look overblown. So, well, this is it. Emilio Khan has become president. His supporters are jubilating at the APC National Campaign Office. A lot of people are jubilating with him, his own small unit of people, not all Nigerians. Also, interestingly, our president, Muhammad Buhari, that gave this pathway to this APC continuity, congratulated him. And yesterday, even when we've not even had the winning person, a former one-time president, Jonathan Goodluck, went all the way to Abuja, Emilio Khan's apartment in Abuja, and congratulated him. And these are signs of, you begin to wonder, why are they congratulating him even when we've not put out the numbers? I mean, we're not, the numbers were still being counted. So Nigeria is it's a new dawn, really, in Nigeria. New dawn. And that new dawn is that the old are going to begin to get faded. They will be fading away. But you see, there's a way it will go so that it doesn't really get out of proportion and blow to another extent. So
thank you, Mark.
Something
Thank
powerful.
you, Mark. Today we really want to do a big analysis of what has gone on in the last few months. I'm sure many of our listeners and viewers who have been watching us, they will expect us to raise the standard of analysis today. Nigeria is a big country with all the statistics, and every nation has been watching. And some people will be captioning their news items today. A drug baron has become the president-elect of Nigeria. Others will say an ageless person has become the president-elect of Nigeria. People all over the world, different captions will be there. They may say fraudulent taking over Nigeria. Another people may say INEC is a personal institution of the cabal. Um, Tinubu invited Buhari to become president, not knowing that 8 years after, a deal has been done to hand over back to him. So is the baton, and the people do not matter. But after 400 billion naira spent, I don't think Nigerians will be smiling. 400 billion naira spent for one election. We now want to take this discussion on a higher level. Dr. Sita, what happens now? Where do we go? Go over this. OC,
I think I think
is
he's
it
free.
I think
is
it's
it
frozen.
frozen?
Yeah, I think he's
Oh,
free.
because we will have heard from, yeah. Okay. OC, it appears you can hear us now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Say that again. Say that again,
I
please.
say, where do we
I
go from
didn't.
here now that an announcement has been released and the whole world will have their own opinion about drug baron becomes the president of Nigeria, a fraudulent person becomes, everyone will have his own opinion, but then he has been announced. So where do we go from here?
Yes, if it was announced privately by maybe those of us who are here, we don't have authority to say anything. It's a different issue. It was announced by INEC chairman, the only man who has authority to announce the next president. Having done that, he has also set in motion. He has also set in motion all the different and varieties of actions that will happen. Um, I will say this first. The other party that was in the race, PDP, has also said that they were going to contest the results. But the issue is this: we all followed the election and we saw the dominant leader in the election. Even foreign press, the ones they call election monitors, they knew the story. We all know the story, and now this has been dropped. So the next step to respond to you directly is that people who have been affected, and that includes every other Nigerian that is not in APC camp, will follow the due process because the presidential candidate has said that the next step is to begin the due process according to law. Nobody is going to go against the law. Nobody is going to encourage violence. Nobody is going to go to war. But we're going to follow this. Media is going to follow this. We're going to follow it step by step to see that everybody who is fighting will get a fighting chance and will be mentioned so that the whole world will see what's going on.
Let me ask you, do you have confidence in the judiciary of Nigeria?
Um, I
It's a
have
very
never.
it's a very big question.
Yes, I have never, but I wasn't going to say it openly like this. I don't. I still don't, and then I am hoping that this time, when the real chip is drawn, that the judiciary will know that they are the conscience of the nation. Until they step up and do the right thing, Nigeria does not have conscience.
All right. Thank you. Let me use this opportunity to welcome Dr. Godwin Ibe from Moscow, Russia. Dr. Ibe, how are you doing?
Oh, can't help but listen to all my other wise panelists who are dropping some very important points. And of course, I would like to contribute when given the opportunity. Thank you.
Let me just give you that opportunity before I go to BD, because I want to ask BD some serious questions. But what was your impression when Ashiwaju was announced middle of the night? That's when we announced things in Nigeria, when thieves are raving. So how did you feel?
I like the way the question was asked. I was already answer, right? Or just eliminated other options one option left. But okay. Without signaling any particular candidate, right? I'm chairman of Middle Russia for everyone, but I have to say that what was promised was not delivered, and what was promised is immediate transmission results from polling units, wards, and that was not. Now, I heard on the grapevine that someone was saying the Electoral Act does not provide provision for immediate transmission of electronic. I don't know how that true is, but we can take INEX and promises at stakeholders meeting to be a legal force. Yes, if they promise something as the voting body, then they should be able to deliver it, whether it's written in the Electoral Act in terms of the phrase electronic transmission or not. But it is that has legal force. Now, we I do not think it is in any party, whether APC, PDP, LP, ADC, to smile at the possibility of rigging or lack of transparency, or even of Nigerian electoral system not seen as transparent. It cannot do anybody any good. I have said it multiple times over the past couple of days that there's competence, lack of expectation of foreseen circumstances, not unforeseen. There's nothing unforeseen like understanding that thugs might come to an electoral polling unit. There's nothing unforeseen as knowing that someone can just pick up a whole ballot box and just start running with it from the place. There's nothing unforeseen about that. There's nothing unforeseen as knowing that if you have a database, you should have a backup. There's nothing as unforeseen as if there are viruses everywhere, right, then you should probably have an antivirus. There's nothing unforeseen as knowing that something that systematically affects the whole voting process is not a glitch. You don't need Oxford Dictionary for that. So these are just basic things that are problematic and needs to be addressed. And I hope it will be.
Thank you,
Doctor. Can I say something?
Yeah, quickly.
Okay, quickly. The thing is, like, Dr. Godwin, yes, you mentioned somebody saying that there is nothing in the Constitution that actually dictates that, the transmission of the polls or the results gotta be electronically. No, but there is another provision in the Constitution that actually gives the right to the chairman of the INEC to determine the way they ought to do the election. Each individual would determine the way. And when this man went to Chatham House and made an announcement and came 102 days ago and made a promise to the citizens of Nigeria, he failed it woefully. He is, as a matter of fact, when he was still conducting the election, after the electronic system, they hijacked it. That was an illegal proceedings. He was supposed to stop it immediately. He did not stand by his word. Constitutionally, there is a provision that gives him the right to choose the way he ought to conduct the election, and he shall stay with it to the very end, which he failed. So that is exactly where we stand today. It is very, very sad, but this is Nigeria.
Okay, we will still have time to discuss about the malfunctioning of INEC. But BD, I want to ask you, majority of the members of NSAS are living in Lagos, and some of them are well-known celebrities in the music and Nollywood. Now, what do you think they are thinking, or what are they saying? What's the position of those young people in Lagos who especially voted out Tinubu out of his base? What do you think? How do you think they're doing? Give us the mood among this younger generation.
their brain or their thoughts or their feelings have not changed on this. Even as they've announced the election, they just keep it that this is not their president. This is not what they want. They keep saying that what they versus what they gave them. They have not competent to accept Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their president. So they head on that this is not their this is not what they want. This is what INEC and peace want. They are still saying it and they still stand by it. And let me like I said earlier, now they've announced the election. Few numbers not up to the nation are jubilating. They are jubilating and they wants this is not what we want. Nigerians have gone on the streets of Monday, but P2B and the Labour Party have played with them. They should just go in the way of violence that go to the courts. And personally, I'm over you. I've been in Nigeria for years and have holy step in Nigeria. I was like, when was killed all over the nation, he did not make any statement. If he wants to tell us that he's not part of this rigging, he didn't got to make a statement, but he kept quiet. But he was in a hurry to make the next thing. Do you understand? They elected and choosing a force who wants Nigerians. Now you said you cost. I don't know cost. What did you share? From the work of the assume office, have no people want to obey the rule of law. They've not obeyed the rule of law. That was when they were expecting to obey the rule of law on the money deadline. They're not obeying the taking court. They will adopt the system of amendments. They'll keep adjourning the case until they're done with what they want to do. So, those of who are not in Nigeria will not understand this. You might understand the pain of what an ordinary Nigerian is going through. I'm telling you.
Okay, Bidi, I want to ask you a question because I know we're going on a short break very soon. The 11th of March.
Sorry, Dr. Shagun. I think BD's audio is not going too well. I don't know.
But we are trying to understand. I can understand what she's saying, and I'm sure because she's so vital. And this question is vital. Yeah. Okay. Bidi, on the 11th of March, the people of Lagos State will be electing their governor. Do you think this will dampen the people of Lagos to come and outvote Sanwo-Olu, or you think they will? What do you envisage will happen?
Yes, to put their faith, not just in Lagos and Nigeria. Let me tell you, we are all in this country. The reason they vote is just what played out because they knew their vote never counted. But gave them promises and pleaded with them to come and vote. They voted their conscience. They voted who they want. I'm getting lost. I get situation. They've taken the streets, destroying the Igbo's property.
It's okay. Sorry. I have to. There are lots of complaint from the public. Take note that we have 19,000 people listening to us. So we have big network issue coming from BD's side.
Okay. Maybe during the break. BD, during the break, adjust your equipment. Yes. We'll go on a short break. When we return, we want to assess INEC as an agent of the government. Has INEC proved to be INEC or not? We really want to assess the role of INEC. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. It's News Echoes. We're bringing to you issues affecting the last presidential election, which was announced, some say hurriedly. The president-elect Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu, but not until the 29th of May before we know the 16th president. Don't forget that Tunde Bakari has said he saw 16 in the spirit realm and that he was the 16th. He was going to be made the 16th president. Maybe that prophecy may still come to pass. We don't know. But Bola Ahmed yesterday, jubilating, said he has become the 16th president of Nigeria. Now, many people believe that the Independent National Electoral Commission was not up to the task. If anything, independence should be removed from it. Many people believe that INEC was massively compromised from top to bottom. Top to bottom was massively compromised. So we want to assess the role of INEC in these emergence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Like Sir George from Canada said, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu won this election square and fair, everybody must be happy for it. But where he has not won it square and fair, where we have seen things doctored, and I mean, there is no way we will bow to dishonesty in any form. Somebody said, let peace just reign. And another quickly countered it for me. He says, there can never be peace without justice. Sir George, we want to spend the next 30 minutes assessing the role of INEC in bringing these matter to a crescendo middle of the night. What are your immediate thoughts about these things that have happened concerning INEC?
Well, concerning INEC has become nothing but a personal property, like you mentioned before, of the oligarchy. Listen to this. Number one, I've already, mentioned before, Nigeria is becoming nothing but a political whited sepulcher. We want to look good on the outside, but internally we are so corrupt and so messed up. That's all it is. What you saw last night was a charade. What they did, they made sure that all the corrupt practices were put aside, and then they showcased to the world, oh, we are a shining star when it comes to democracy. Therefore, everything will be transparent. But all the evil was already done in the middle of the night. So what we're seeing here, number one, this professor called Mahmoud Yakubu will go down in history as the worst INEC chairman ever. And it is so sad that what our president was chasing to be one of those shining stars when it comes to democracy in Africa, he's already lost it. And we will not make it easy for them, because every single stone will be unturned, because they've already arrested somebody who had several PVCs and all the kind of machinery that they used to manipulate the system. So, but what is happening is this. Yeah, the APC, the PDP people and the LP people will go to court. Then who controls the court in Nigeria? The court is worse. The court in Nigeria is worse than the police. The court in Nigeria is worse than the military. They are nothing but ashawos when you consider it. It's pay as you go. That's what the court system is in Nigeria. Pay as you go. So let's tell the truth to the world so we can understand what is really happening in that so God-blessed country that has turned right side up, upside down. So this is what we're going in that country. So let's face it. Let's face it. Immediately they turned off the portals. I knew instantly what was going to happen. They did it 8 years ago. They did it 4 years ago. And Asiwaju was hoping that, Emilio Khan will happen to him. And this is exactly what happened. And our shameful president will not even have the impetus to say something. Look at the other one that happened too. The former president went to greet him before the announcement. Why was it so? Because in his own era, that's exactly what happened. He gave up the election 2 hours after we left, 30 minutes after we left Aso Rock. He announced, conceded. Why was it so? Because it was written. He agreed to give up because nobody would prosecute him. Nobody would touch him. And that was the promise that was made to him. But right now, the ball is in the court of Nigerians.
Okay.
You see all these disenfranchised people, all these people that their constitutional rights were taken away. I am telling you, the ball is in their courts. I said it yesterday. The only way they will stop this from happening, because I knew their plans and their strategy, was to go to the INEC office and stop them. The masses should have gone there and stopped them, and that was the only way. Immediately they announced this election, announced the result, is over. So it's another 8 years of a mess, unless something catastrophic, another earthquake takes place in Nigeria, which is looming. Obasanjo warned them, and believe me, something is going to happen in that country if care is not taken.
Thank you very much. Dr. Osita, one of the chieftains of the PDP, said the number that INEC gave for Bauchi State for APC, PDP, and Labour Party were the exact numbers given to Gombe. How
Exactly.
possible is this, Dr. Osita? We want to go into the specifics now.
Yeah, that shows you the level of intelligence, imputed in the whole process. They are thinking about just being able to say something to the world that they counted 50 and 51, they counted 100 and 101. But the issue at stake is that this is something that is coming too early. All the kids who were involved in NSAS win. All the kids who were able to make the state government, in Lagos to apologize, they are still here. They are working on this. Somebody was asking me on Sunday, you have been talking about this all the time. Where are they? And I say, don't worry, because what is going to be announced as election result will not be the result. Like, it's after then that they go to work.
I mean, how stupid were the officials of INEC
Exactly. They are mentally lazy. Dr. Johnson, we're dealing with nincompoops. We're dealing with stupid people. We're dealing with people who are in a hurry to continue stealing. They don't have qualification. They don't have quality. They don't have competence. So what they have done shows you the kind of people they are, the way they are thinking, and what they want to do with this country in the first 4 years and in the second tenure. That's exactly what it is. George said it. If somebody who qualifies, somebody who wins an election is the person who was voted for, we all go to the streets. I'll go to Kilimanjaro and eat burger. But the fact, the truth, no, the truth about it is that 260 million people all the time, every time, all the way. No, we still have time. And this time it's going to be rework. We still have time. This can't
I
just
think
happen.
I think our
And we let
viewers
it go.
should know. Our viewers should know that from the studio, we uphold Nigeria very much, and what we are saying is we don't care who is properly elected, but what we care is that the process must be free, fair, and credible. Dr. Ibe, it has unfortunately not been free and fair and credible because of what the role INEC played from the beginning to the end, from the top to the bottom, from distribution of materials, Tipexing. We saw where the Tipex, some results, doctor results at the state level, at the polling unit level. Dr. Ebe, do you know any other thing? Or what do you have to say about this particular INE?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to apologize for my connection. As you know, I'm at work. I'm using a mobile connection from work, so please bear with me. But I've mentioned most of the problems which we've seen in this election, and while everyone here has a right to have a preferred candidate, but you should understand that the problems we're reporting are much more than a party problem. is a systemic problem that's very, very, very detrimental to foreign direct investment, very detrimental um, to peace, to security, to jobs. These are problems that make people think twice. I have met so many diasporans who are prepared to take their family away. They're already speaking about taking their family away from Nigeria. These are it's not like they're trying to run away, but you have to have some element of risk return ratio as if you're business minded, or have some element of hope and optimism, cautious optimism at the minimum, to say the least. So it's a systemic problem, and anyone telling me that that this can be redressed in court, it's easier for me to believe that maybe someone from SDP, yeah, would have won the presidential election. And for you to tell me that somehow the result that has been announced will somehow be changed, and the billions that have been spent, both the ones spent officially and unofficially, will somehow be cancelled and returned to their respective initial primary owners. That's like a joke, right? So let's be more optimistic and find real avenues of moving forward, because any other way is a waste of very scarce resources, very scarce time, very scarce energy. And let's look for practical ways to move forward. And also to understand that look for practical ways to move forward, and to understand that while the were being commented on by the public, the reaction we were getting is that we'll address it later, it's okay, everything is fine. The body language was like, you want, everything is according to plan. So with such kind of body language, I think you already understand that everybody's willing to fight. INEC is willing to defend its reputation, APC is willing to fight for their win, and other parties are willing to fight for what they consider rigging. So waste of effort.
Thank you, Doctor. Mark in Milan, I think what Dr. Ebe there said is very germane. They want us to endorse fraudulence, and that is the problem. Why should everybody endorse fraudulence? INEC was seen to be fraudulent in many ways.
Dr.
Why
Johnson.
should Nigerians be forced to endorse injustice? I think that's the issue.
Dr. Johnson.
Yes, we even have
Mark in Milan, can you play that video where 100 days ago this man made that promise? The whole nation needs to see that again while we're discussing this, the INEC people. We need to play that video. Let the world see it again. I know many of them have seen it. There's some people are waking up this morning and they have never seen this man making a promise to the whole entire citizenry of Nigeria. We need to see that while we're discussing this situation, so people can see clearly and concise.
On this note, let me seize this opportunity to respond to a story emanating from a section of the media that the Commission has decided to jettison the uploading of polling unit level results in real time on election day. It should please be disregarded as fake news. The Commission will upload polling unit level results, and citizens will have access to those results in real time as we upload to the polling units. This innovation was introduced by the Commission. The Commission cannot turn around and undermine itself. So this technology has come to stay. We'll upload polling unit level results from the polling unit. Citizens will have the right to view these results. After all, who are we serving? The citizens. How can we deprive citizens from access to the results of the process conducted by them at the level of polling units? So I welcome you to the Commission. I want to assure you and reassure you that the 2023 general election is going to be our best ever elections. We are committed, and that the votes cast by Nigerians will determine the outcome of elections. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, you had it by yourself. Yes. Godwin, what do you want to say? Sir George.
Look at the whole entire thing.
What you from?
Somebody was saying something. Go ahead, Dr. Godwin.
Continue.
Listen to this. because a man is determined by the content of their character. This man was compromised. You could tell from the way from Chatham House all the way back to Nigeria again. This is a promise he made to the citizens. Number one, it's become the worst election in Nigeria. Number two, he has deprived a lot of citizens from their constitutional right that he promised them. Number three, he made a promise that they are going to see this in life. If he's a real man that has not been bought off with money, why would he not stop the election until this, they fix the whole entire system and then continue afterwards? That's exactly what he's saying. You made a promise to the country. Number one, you've already deprived the nation of their rights to vote in who they wanted to. You stole their inheritance, their constitutional rights, and you are standing to shine internationally like you are a good democratic government or system. It doesn't work. He must answer to all of this because constitutional provision already allowed him to choose the way he's supposed to do it, and according to the law, he shall abide by it. Any deviation from it,
he
must answer to it.
Mark, what do you say?
Yes, Dr. Shagun, I'm listening to everybody's comments here. One thing I want to say is this also. There are some crop of Nigerians that voted for APC. Now, doesn't that set of Nigerians, don't they see the pain people go through every day in their life as Nigerians? I mean, even though numbers were doctored, some numbers were added, some people gave some sizable amount of number at the initial stage. And it's all over Nigeria. So we are also looking at something we've been saying here in this platform, and that is that there are some Nigerians that are enjoying in their pain. They enjoy the bondage, the captivity they've been put into, and they worship somehow. They adore these slave masters, these bondage keepers. Because how do you still continue this when we thought all of us are in the same space of mind and we all want to get out? We want to be free from their hold. And some people are still fighting. Do you know, as of yesterday in Rivers, there are still some APC people fighting against the LP people. Also in Lagos, there is continuous fight. Big fight in Lagos, most parts of Lagos. So that means some of these people actually love the pain, the suffering they are going through. Maybe they don't know that they are suffering, they're in bondage. You know, sometimes you could be in a situation where you don't realize you take it as it is, and you feel this is how life should be. You know, so this is what we're seeing, and it's all over Nigeria. Kanu has a large number of those APC people. Kaduna has large number of those APC followers, and these are Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians. So let's not rub off that set of people. There are Nigerians that we need to open their eyes. They need to take off the scale in their eyes because they do not know that they are in bondage, and they love their slave masters. They love the bondage keepers. So this is a problem we have. We have to see to it. I'm happy 16,000 people are listening to us now. We have quite a number of people listening to us.
Okay.
So this message might go around. Nigerians need to wake up. We need to wake up.
BD, you were an accredited.
I want something. I've been trying for a while.
Okay.
I just allowed everyone to speak.
Go ahead quickly.
Yes, I wanted to say first of all, Dr. Sir George said I should show the video to the master. I support it, of course, but I kept on asking myself, so what will change? We'll get more likes, of course, we'll get more comments. Maybe somebody's kind enough, they'll share it. But in the what will really happen in the INEC and in terms of what we've seen so far, like the how do I say the apathy. All the emotions, just complete apathy. And then secondly, Massive Mark has insinuated that people who are voting for APC are just people who don't see the suffering. I disagree. I've actually met people who actually believe that the right choice is APC. They actually, for their reasons best known to them, like I said, I'm not here to advocate for any party, but they really believe that their candidate is representing their interests. That's number one. Number two, people who are just tribalistic. Just, it can go worse if it's not from my tribe. It can't be worse than that. I've seen many of them, you can't even believe it, but that is exactly what it is. So this combination makes me really realize that the ways, until we can sit down and have a plan, what is the way forward? Yeah, emotions, comments, sharing, they're all good, but they're not what will change the game. I live in Russia. One of the differences between my living in Russia is that I don't tend to flow too much with ideology, right? Flow towards practicality, what will result in, and the fantasy of, like, for example, if he's a man, if he's not a man, maybe how his conscience, how does he feel? Because those don't, like, where I live, and maybe my experience shows me that it doesn't really work in a country like Nigeria. No one cares about the feelings.
Okay,
It's like
thank
that.
you. Thank you, Dr. Ibe. I just want to hear from BD because she was an accredited press officer and she moved around. From what you saw, BD, tell us more, all our thousands of viewers and listeners. What did you see on the ground when you were moving around? Because we were following you, you were giving us what are those things that you see that we think INEC is culpable?
What I saw in the just concluded, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
loud
you
and
hear
clear.
me?
Yes.
Clear.
What I saw in just concluded general election in Nigeria on 25th of February was a horrible situation. Let me tell you, that election was rigged before 25th of February. In the morning, we had even before on 25th, from 23rd, we started having the presence of military personnel around Nigeria. Now they came. When we started in the morning, there was peace. The military personnel, they were there. And you and I know, I'm talking from Nigeria point of view. Election in Nigeria is always hot during the collection center. Now, the army were there. But when it got to 2:30 to 3, that is at the peak of the election, the army were nowhere to be found. They ceased. You could not see them again everywhere. The way they disappeared. Now I was reliably informed that there was an order that the army should be withdrawn from the field. Now, when we went to police station, first the INEC officials did not come. They did not show up on time. Some of them, they show up without beaver. And my question, I asked one of them, you don't have beaver, and what are you doing here? What is your intention? Now, some of them who started, when they came, they don't have ink, they don't have stamp. Many of them, let me tell you, about 85% of polling units in Lagos did not have result sheets. I saw it. Nobody told me. I went. I spoke with the INEC official. They don't have result sheets. Then when we start talking, when people start making notes, those result sheets started coming out in transit. Now, when I asked question, when I intrude, they were like, somebody told me, somebody of a ruling party, that they intentionally kept those result sheets back. Do you understand? One of them, they personally kept it back. Now, in Oshodi, to be precise, we went there, we could not access there. XCO number was on ground, and he was intimidating people. Now, sorry, let me cut short to Massive. My mic said that a lot of Nigerians are still enjoying it. They are not enjoying it. What you see in Nigeria is policies of intimidation. They intimidate these people to accept what they don't want. So most of the people say that they don't enjoy it. It's policy of intimidation.
I'm just mindful of the time, and I know if we give you 3 hours, it will not be enough.
So I'll round off now. So they stop people from voting. Some places, before you know it now, they refuse. I have the video. I send this to you people. In some police station, they refuse to calculate points. They refuse to upload results in Beaver. And when I questioned, they said they did not give them the code. And this shows that this election was actually rigged. Now, it comes to what I told you people earlier. When they were burning INEC offices in Southeast, I told you, but this is politically motivated. That has nothing to do with INEC. When they were throwing away PVC, those were their tactics to rig and manipulate this election. And you know, announcing Bola Tinubu Ahmed, the winner of this presidential, you know what they have done? They have legalized thuggery in Nigeria, and they have given thugs power.
Yeah, I think that will likely be the conclusion, that if the younger Nigerians will not see honesty as the way to move forward, they're teaching them that dishonesty is the best way. But I just want everybody, I want to give everybody 30 seconds before we close. Tinubu has always been associated with fraud, with drug, with lack of date of birth, with lack of schools attended. Everything fraudulent has been associated with the Nigerian president-elect. Please, and we'll limit you to 30 seconds each, starting from George in Canada. Is it a fraudulent president-elect? Quickly.
Not accepted. I think I was muted. Was I muted?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said yes, indeed it is. It is a fraudulent and corrupt system that brought this president in, and Nigerians, they are Nigerians have to stand up to their right. So,
wow. Sita in Abuja, your president-elect will be seen as former drug baron. How do you want to correct that impression from the international scene? You have unmute yourself.
Yes, I think he's unmuted now. Dr. C, go ahead.
Sita.
Okay.
Oh, maybe he's frozen. He's frozen.
Okay, Mark. How will you see this man, the world looking at him? And I live in England, and they will say to our face. So how do we now correct that impression?
Yes, it will take some real damage control experts to to do that job, and Nigerians are not good at damage control. We don't know.
So you admit to that. OC, can you say something now? Or is it still frozen? eBay in Moscow. How do we wash this man?
Yeah, I said most Nigerians,
Go on, OC.
Most Nigerians, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, most Nigerians will not accept Tinubu as president, even if he stays for 20 years. I know, wow. I know that for sure. Yeah, okay. Even some APC members don't.
Godwin, you said that we should move on, and how do you wash this man from his dirty learnings? How do we present him to the rest of the world?
I beg to differ a little bit, and I hope that my words will be taken for the truth that is in it. The international space will see it as just one of the many things that happen. They will come up to, they will be more focused on respecting old contracts which have already been signed on the previous APC regime, and how to move forward to sign the new ones that have been refused in the previous administration. After all, the international community have worked with terrorists before. They have worked with...
Bidi, you are going to have the last word in 5 seconds. Bidi, yes. 5 seconds. The international community says it's a bad one.
Yeah. Announcing Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria only says one thing. That's what the view of international Western world about Nigerian as being fraudulent is not justified.
Okay, thank you very much. The international community said that even by the Nigerian standard, this election was the poorest they've ever seen. That's how far we go today. On Friday, we're coming with more. My name is Shegun Johnson, welcoming the president-elect that is seen as a former drug baron. That's how we leave it today. God bless you all.